gotta get up. You gotta get up and make a move. 'Cause the world will never see you until you do.
Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're a visitor or if you're a first timer, please don't forget to give us a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button. And if you're a regular customer here, thank you very much for your support. Okay, so today we'll be coming about with 8 remedies to hair breakage. Some of us have hair breakage, hair loss and all of that, and the advantage of hair, especially for the ladies, is to look good, yeah, it's to look good. So if your hair is missing, I think you should find a solution, and if you are here looking for a solution, you're at the right place. So let's set up the 8 remedies to hair. So before we move on to these remedies, we need to first of all know what actually causes this stuff. Like, why should we even suffer from hair breakage? Okay, firstly, a lot of relaxer, perming, chemicals, frequent chemicals being used on the hair, dyes, colorings, to change your hair from black or from its natural color to another color, you dye it, perming, relaxers, all of that. Too much chemical, when in excess, it tends to disturb the natural hair growth, and then it can result to hair loss and hair breakage. So secondly, too much heat, application of heat. Some of us use a hair dryer to dry our hair, and then we put it in so much heat because we're in a hurry and we need the hair to dry fast and things like that. So too much heat, it also affects the scalp and the hair, so it begins to break or fall off, because it gets weak. The heat weakens them. So thirdly, improper towel drying. Some of us, when we dry our hair, we are all violent about it and rubbing and take it easy. The more you tend to rub it violently, that's the more you're pulling your hair without even knowing, because when you get to look at that towel, you're going to see a lot of hair strands there, and that's your hair which is going basically. So we have to be very careful and know the proper means in which you should towel dry our hair. It's just advisable you tie your hair up with a towel and not to start rubbing it, because when you tie it, it is going to dry. Okay, maybe not exactly dry, but at least the towel is going to absorb the water from your hair. Your hair is not going to be dripping wet again, so we don't necessarily have to. Some hairstyles, they tend to put a lot of tension on our edges, so when you have to pick the edges while braiding your hair, it can cause, because of the tension, it's going to cause hair breakage or even hair loss. That's why some of us see our front hair, our edges are missing, because basically some of our braids are eating them up. So when you are braiding your hair, try not to pick your edges. You need those edges, girl. Now that we know the causes of this hair breakage, how do we find cures? What are the remedies? Like I said, I'll give you the remedies in a few while, but just in case you haven't subscribed to our channel, do us a favor and subscribe and give us a thumbs up if you like what you see. First remedy: wash and condition your hair frequently. By frequently, I don't mean every day. Like, you don't necessarily have to wash your hair every day, but at least a fortnight. That's 2 weeks. So every 2 weeks, you're advised to wash your hair, condition it using proper shampoos. After washing the hair, you're advised to air dry. Right after wrapping the towel around your head, you air dry. And when the towel has absorbed the water, so it's safer to air dry than to actually use a hair dryer that is too hot. So if you must use a hair dryer, try not to make the heat too much. Remedy: never rub your hair while towel drying. I already said that. Then third remedy: try to oil your scalp, moisturize it as often as possible, especially for those of us that have dry scalp. So you actually try to leave it moisturized and using oils and all of that hair care products. So I use coconut oil. I also use Cantu So if you have anyone that is going to suit you, get it, because your hair boosts your confidence, and not just your confidence, your beauty too. So you do not want them gone. Fourth remedy is try to use wide tooth combs while combing your hair. You don't just use tiny combs, like most especially if you are on natural hair. Try to use wide tooth combs, those extra big combs. Yeah, I should try to use them because they're actually detangling, but not as much as that tiny one, because the tiny one is just going to end up pulling the strands because of your natural hair, and you're just going to keep pulling and So the next remedy, try to take enough protein, have enough protein and iron intake. If you want to tackle a disease that's outside, you have to tackle it from the inside, from the root of the problem. So you have to eat right if you want your hair to grow right, okay? So you have to have enough protein and iron intake if you want a healthy hair. Okay, the sixth one, avoid frequent use of chemicals, relaxers, colors, trying to dye your hair from one color to the other. You should try to minimize it. Some people definitely cannot do without it, but the rate, when it's in excess, it becomes bad for your hair, so you should try to minimize it. Okay, and then the seventh remedy, you should try to minimize your use of extensions. Okay, for instance, you're on an extension right now, attachment, and then the second you lose it, boom, you're going to make another braid. Boom, you're going to give your hair some space, like they need to breathe too. So you have to reduce the frequent hair extensions you use. Sometimes you let your hair breathe. They deserve to breathe, girl, so you should let them. Next remedy is wear protective hairstyles. By protective hairstyles, I'm not trying to tell you what style you should make, or no, do not get me wrong. My point here is just try not to pick the edges while making your hair, because it's going to end in something bad. So protective hairstyles here is just simply try not to pick your edges whenever you weave or braid your hair. So that's it, guys. That's the 8 remedies to prevent or to control hair breakage. So if you did enjoy this video, or if you learned something new, please tell us in the comment section, and I'll be taking care of them. Bye.
You are worth beyond 1,000 reasons why, and you can't be perfect, baby, 'cause nobody's perfect.